premier choix de Pittsburgh, number 66.
Mario Lemieux.
Ever since I was a little kid, like they teach you to win at all costs, to win, everything is to win.
And people look at you as the guy who did something underhanded to get a chance to draft Mario Lemieux.
What is tanking?
You have to do what's best for your franchise.
This thing ever blows up in our face, we're going to never live this down.
(1983-84), Laval, Quebec. Mario Lemieux was indisputably Mario the Magnificent, rampaging to 282 points in 70 games. The greatest show on skates. He was a lock to be chosen first in the NHL Draft.
I told our owner, Mr. DeBarro, I said, this is a player that comes around once in a lifetime.
You really couldn't grasp that somebody could be this good. Those are the kinds of things you were hearing, but you knew who Mario was. And that's when you said, my God. I think those were the two words that came to mind when you saw Mario Lemieux play. My God.
While Lemieux was skating circles around the Q, Pittsburgh was unraveling. The team, yes, but also the city. The steel mills were closing. The economy was wretched. The Penguins were ripe for relocation.
This is the time when the Penguins are averaging 6,000 people.
The commitment to winning wasn't always there in the dressing room, I can assure you that.
We were the comical team of the NHL. We were a joke.
The Penguins, well, they were not merely defensively challenged, but ethically challenged.
Eddie said that, if we do this, there's a very good chance that you and I will lose our jobs. There was about 30-plus games left, and Eddie said, we have to make a conscious decision as to what we can do. And he said, the only thing we can do is we gotta get Mario Lemieux.
Without a prayer of making the playoffs, the Penguins engaged in a string of moves that, well, for the moment anyway, we'll call them curious.
There was always suspicion that Eddie Johnston was going to do some things with his management of the team to get that pick if he could.
The whole process started when we got rid of Randy Carlyle. He was the face of our organization.
So you traded your best player and get nothing back immediately in return.
Not too often you see Norris Trophy winning defenseman trade.
No. Well, we just felt we had a chance to pick up a couple players, and we weren't going no place at that particular time, and we need players.
Eddie Johnston and I did what we thought we had to do to save the franchise.
You were coaching to win, or were you coaching not to win?
We were coaching not to win. I will never deny that. I put my fourth-line players out against the other team's first-line players. And whenever we got a penalty, I put on players on the ice that normally you wouldn't put them out there to kill a penalty. We went into a game to play the Rangers, and at the end of the first period, we were leading 3-0. And Eddie came into the coach's office and said to me, "What the hell's going on?" He said, we're going to blow this whole deal.
Did you ever tell Lou Angotti, big game tonight, make sure we don't win?
Oh, no, I wouldn't tell anybody that. I would be cheating the fans, and you don't do that. 'Cause they'll come back and haunt you, do stuff like that.
You could see it, like Eddie was on pins and needles. We're up 3-1. He's like thinking, God, guys, we got to lose this game.
The Penguins won just 3 of their final 21 games, clinching the first overall draft pick in the second last game of the season.
Did the Penguins tank in 83-84?
I don't think the players did. I think they were just...
Do you think management did?
I don't know.
This is a tale rife with winks and nods. Johnston has never actually admitted that the Penguins tanked. He says things like, well, we were trying to do what was best for the franchise.
We're optimistic building that way, and that's the only way we're going to improve our outlook.
We revisited Johnston for further clarification.
Lou says that you and he had an understanding about where the season wanted to go. You say there was no understanding. How do we reconcile it?
Well, when I say there's no understanding, I mean, when we got completely out of a playoff and we had no place to go, you know, you got to be thinking that, hey, what's out there for the draft and what's around and, you know, and we needed a superstar and Mario was that guy.
There's no one's going to ever admit it. I mean, you don't have to admit it, you just have to look at the roster.
Did EJ show foresight in what he did?
If it was maneuvering, it was very intelligent. And he was very astute to establish early that this team was going nowhere, number one, and number two, that somebody could come in that was going to change the face of the franchise.